Welcome to the status report highlight for the 29th of March 2016, and it's time for an update on what's been going on during the past 2 weeks. We have a bit of info on the blocker issues for 6.0, as well as which subjects will be in focus for the immediate future. While we don't have an experimental build yet, we do have good news and an update on what is going on with the blockers and how far the team have got with them, and so on. Inventory UI. User controls within the new inventory look to be at parity with the old inventory system. The last few remaining issues are a few nasty blocking bugs on the functional side, such as items missing their icons. Reload mechanics. The QA team have worked with the design and animation teams to get a firm handle on exactly where the inconsistencies are with the new reload mechanics, and said teams are working on resolving the issue. Character loading and saving. Proper character loading saving is back, and in the process some nice network optimizations in this area were made. Renderer-based blocking issues. We've cut the list of blocker-flagged issues tied to the new Infusion renderer in half since the last time we talked. And in the time since our last status report, the Infusion engine team has made some outstanding optimizations across Churnerus, which you can see the result of in the latest 6.0 devlog video in the description below. In addition, while the Infusion engine team was able to commit and test their latest optimizations, the automated performance benchmark tool briefly discussed in the latest 6.0 devlog video has enabled the environment team to begin to isolate problematic issues with certain areas of the map that would not otherwise be noticed. We're excited to see these fixes give us yet another small bump up in Infusion's new renderer performance. As we get closer to bringing 6.0 to experimental branch, Brian lightly urges us all to temper our excitements with a few brief statements of reality about public development of a title and its engine. 6.0 is focused on UI and renderer. It does not feature the new animation system, player controller, or user actions. We still have plenty of issues ahead of us to tackle. The renderer is but one hurdle on the road to complete DayZ. Network optimizations, server performance optimizations. This is a big one, standing between us and more players, more infected, and more animals. Animation system, Eden update audio tech merge, and more are all ahead of us. So Brian encourages us to keep our eye on the proverbial prize and report our bugs over at the official DayZ forums. Be active in testing these new technology changes and be a part of moving DayZ towards 1.0. We decided to unveil how things work with addition of meaningful assistance, especially in the inventory side. You will find ghost or silhouette placeholders for all possible attachments that can be attached to systems like player character, weapons, vehicles, constructions, fireplaces, etc. Of course, it can ignite pursuit for filling those spots, notably for completionist style players. On the other hand, it will help to orientate what is possible and what isn't, as in reality you know that you can definitely put a second rifle around your neck, but you can't in game. So instead of trying by yourself, it's better to be told straight away that these are the cards to play with, instead of trying all possible combinations to find the proper one, like in old school point and click adventures. With the possibility to add and remove all attachments within the inventory screen, and with the need of securing some of them with tools in mind, comes a secure unsecure icon. Think of vehicle wheels, which you can attach to the hub, but you need to fasten them with a lug wrench for proper functionality, or they will simply fall off during the drive, or nail down the planks to make a fence from a simple frame. Crafting is another important part of the game, and it is critical to bring it out to the light from the darkness of the inventory screen. Intended plans for field crafting changes is that it always needs to be initiated from the hands with 1 or 2 required ingredients for said recipe. Combining wooden sticks with rags is a good example. Crafting can be initiated in different ways, solely in inventory by putting, let's say, rags to hands and drag and drop wooden sticks on them from vicinity or cargo. Second possible approach is a bit of a shortcut. When you have, let's say, wooden sticks already in hands and rags set in a quick slot, pressing this quick slot number to invoke the crafting recipe. Or the last way is with direct interaction with the item in the world by pointing rags in hands onto sticks gathered from a bush. As in the good tradition of DayZ, all new changes will have a visual feedback to players, like attaching something to a gun, picking up items from the ground, dropping it, feeding the magazine, or crafting something. Everything should be readable by other survivors, to make it clear what's going on and to be able to react on your performed action, which can offer time windows to take advantage of. All these changes will shift how DayZ is played a bit, but Peter truly believes they are introduced for a good reason and help to form a higher principle. We are now focused on adding missing animations for vehicles. For the new animation system, we have been adding some offset poses to allow players to look around inside the vehicle, and also changing slightly how steering wheel looks to allow animating shift gear in the future. Obviously, never-ending work on guns is still in progress. That means we are adding chambering animations for more guns and polishing existing reloading animations. The player graph now contains some new actions like animations for emptying bottle, some more wounded moves have been created, the bow and pistols now have the same set as rifle, standing, walk and run. Victor is also planning the next Mocap session to capture some animations for operating the vehicles, like engine repairing or attaching doors and wheels. More wounded animations are also on the Mocap list, so they can continue on this feature. And that's all for the status report highlight for this week, for the 29th of March 2016. As always, I have something a little extra if you haven't seen it. Here's a new work in progress animation for walking up the stairs. I recommend you read the status reports yourselves in full for the most amount of information that they hold. All links are in the description below, and I'll see you peeps next time.
I'm coming up, Happy. Come help.